Hi, 7th grade. Today we're going to talk about getting started with your music, which is called Galop. And I'm going to go over a couple of ways that I would suggest warming up and then how I would approach the music when you first start to practice it. Some of you may have already started it, that's fine, but I just want to go over a couple of main points that you should be aware of. So here they are. The first thing we're going to do with Galop is we're going to talk about how to warm up to this. So we're going to go ahead and start with the key signature, and that is D major. We know that because there are two sharps, and it's pretty upbeat and happy sounding, which means major. And we're going to start with the D major scale, which we already have in Google Classroom. Hopefully you found that document. So I'm going to set a metronome, and of course set a D pedal tone to make sure that we're in tune. It's always a good idea, depending on what type of pedal tone you're using and where you got it, to make sure your instrument's in tune with that pedal tone. Now I tuned with my phone over there, but the D sounds a little bit different than this pedal tone, so I want to adjust it so that it doesn't mess up my intonation. And that's a little bit more in tune with this machine. So here we go, 1, 2, half notes, here we go. At that point you can go on to quarter notes, eighth notes after that, and if you feel so inclined, 16th notes. You can add slurs, whatever you want to do. So my suggestion there is find a scale and do your arpeggios, but it's a good idea to practice them in different ways rather than always practicing the same way. That might be changing the fingering, changing the rhythm, or adding some different bowing patterns. Just a quick suggestion before you get started on Galop. The first thing about this song that we want to conquer is making sure that even though we're playing quickly, we don't want our notes to be short and choppy. So everybody, whoever you are, no matter violin, viola, cello, or bass, you want to make sure you do this slow with the notes as long as possible. If you want to be extra thorough, you can set a D pedal tone, and you want to go really slow through your notes. This is the violin part, but you can do it with any part. And just play it really slow like that and get the most out of every note. And then as you speed it up, you're still going to have those long quarter notes, but your eighth notes will at least have pitch that can be heard. So maybe something like this once you've practiced speeding it up. So we're trying to still get length out of the quarter notes. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, like that. So I can't stress enough that yes, you should warm up and do a good warm up before you play this. Then of course, have a plan for what you're going to do. In this case, it should be the first line and then maybe at most the second line. And then you want to practice slowly with long notes and gradually increase the speed. For violins that have the 16th notes and the slur in measure 8, I just want to address that. The first thing I would suggest is playing that separate, like this. And then maybe just adding 2-note slurs. Then doing the whole down bow slur that it has, and then maybe going a little faster from there. Okay, so you want to really just work up to things slowly. Make sure your hands feel comfortable. Make sure it sounds good, because if you're moving quickly and it sounds really scratchy, then you should go slow. If you go slow and you really take the time to get a good sound and a clear sound, your faster playing will sound clearer and it'll sound better. So hopefully this video has been helpful, and I would say the first 2 lines of Galop would be enough because we're practicing the length of the notes, and that's the goal. Let me know if you have any questions in our live session, and have a good time with it.